Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. We've got a new unboxing for the last release of Wave 10 for Wizkids Dungeons Dragons Attack Wing. It's a miniature game that based off of the very popular classic role-playing game Dungeons Dragons that's currently produced by Wizards of the Coast. So for those who don't know the game D&D Attack Wing, so basically you take pre-painted figures, you build an army, and you battle it out with your opponents. The figures are all points valued, and you can add cool abilities for everyone. Of course, it's a young green dragon, so that means there's an adult green dragon out there that's already been released in an earlier set. Going into the monster manual, classic monster manual for Dungeons & Dragons, this is what it says about the young green dragon. They're a large dragon, lawful evil. Tend to have high armor class, blah, 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 blah. Things that stick out for it is damage immunities to poison, condition immunities to poison, and they're amphibious. They can breathe air and water. Multi-attack, they can do 3 attacks, 1 with its bite, 2 with its claws. There's the bite attack, there's a melee weapon attack. Poison breath, so it exhales poisonous gas in a 30-foot cone. Each creature in that area gets hit. Green dragons in general, they're manipulative schemers, there's conflict and corruption, living treasures, blah, 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 blah. They're hunters. That's all we need to know from that. So, checking out this actual expansion, it's expand and upgrade your D&D Attack Wing game. Chuth, or Kuth, whatever, is a sly young dragon capable of outwitting his enemies through clever positioning and surprise maneuvers. Like most green dragons, he is fiercely territorial, protecting his forest from intrusion with a poison breath. See, there we go. That often debilitates his foes. When accompanied by his minions, Chuth and his followers will often surround a trespasser and intimidates the wretch with their superior numbers, but when he himself is faced with many enemies, usually incapacitates an opponent with a sleep spell so that the dragon can narrow his focus to 1 or 2 enemies at a time. Sometimes it's difficult to target a foe who's approaching fast from a great distance. However, in those instances, Truth relies on his Eye of the Eagle to give him plenty of time to prepare his most powerful attacks. Now, all sounds really, really interesting. Of course, we're going to compare the young green dragon to the adult green dragon. The adult green dragon's been out for some time at this point. For those that don't remember, the figure and character has an attack of 3, defense of 2, and something just went flying. Defense of 2, 3 life, and a shield. They tend to be level 5. There's another one that costs 27 points. The other one's cost of 35 points, 3, 2, 4, and 1, level 10. They both have a bite and melee with their tail. So let's first crack this one open and show off the figure. Sculpt's really not that bad. I kind of dig the sculpt. My issue with it is I think the painting for the wings, though, is pretty dull. The body itself, though, is actually really, really good. There's some good detail on the scale fin on his back. His body's actually really good. There's some good coloring underneath for that. It's just his wings are a little bit dull to me. I wish there was maybe a bit shading on the top. Let's show this off. Hopefully you can see that. And you can kind of catch the figure. Really, really nice. I will say I'm not going to knock this one too much. I actually think it's pretty good quality for him. So there's that. So already, just in general, I'm gonna go with this as a pretty quality figure. I'm digging it. I like it. I do like its style. The pose is decent. The coloring is really, I think, what stands out to me. At least part of its coloring. All right, let's go crack open, show off actually what you get inside. Things all falling all over the place. All right, so we got nothing too special here, just the normal dials and timers. Well, here we've got intimidation, debilitating, poison, and sleep with the regular tokens. And same with this one. So nothing really too crazy or special as far as that, but it's the cards. The cards are where it's at for a lot of these releases. And let's separate these right now so that we can easily talk about them. Alright, so first, we've got a sleep spell. For those who don't know the sleep spell, it's an arcane spell, cost of 3, a range of 3. Spend your target token and place 3 timers on this upgrade to make a 2-dice attack against one creature at range 1 to 3 in your forward arc. This attack penetrates armor. If you inflict at least 1 damage against the creature, it sustains no damage but continues continuous effect. The continuous effect is the creature receives a sleep token. When this effect ends for any reason, discard this card. The sleep token, right here. Creature with a sleep token. Creature loses all exhaustion tokens. Flying creature receives a sleep token, immediately lands safely. The affected creature cannot move or plan and maneuver during the planning phase. The affected creature cannot change altitude, perform actions, or attack, nor can it roll any defense dice. As soon as a creature with a sleep token sustains damage, remove the sleep token. Creature may act normally. Next, we've got 4 items. Poison Breath, it's a pretty common one. I'm not going to go and rely too long on this one. Breath Weapon, use primary weapon value. It's 3 range, separate cone attack. This attack penetrates armor, 3 timers on it. It's a primary weapon value, +5 for non-dragons. We've got Debilitating Poison. I think this is a new one. Oh, there we go. We can get somewhat focused on this. Alright, so Debilitating Poison. Cost is 3, is during the combat phase you may target 1 creature that was just damaged by your poison breath. That creature receives the continuous effect below. Place 2 timers on it. If the affected creature's primary weapon value is greater than 3, the creature is considered to have a primary value of 3. When this effect ends for any reason, discard this card. Cannot also equip Toxic Affliction. Next up, we've got Territorial. We said on the flavor of the back of the card of the creature that they were rather territorial. If you're attacking, this cost of 3 is, if you're attacking while your creature base is within range 1 to 4 of your starting edge, you may discard this upgrade at the start of the roll. Attack dice, setup of combat to roll +3 attack dice. And you may measure to make sure you are within range 1 to 4 of your starting edge before deciding to activate this card. Must be a green dragon equipped, so at least you can use it for other green dragons. So, for 3, you get a whole bunch of new attack dice. And then finally we've got Intimidation, cost of 4. Intimidation is if the total number of your allied creatures, including you and all friendly creatures, is greater than the total number of an opponent's creatures in the play area. Place 1 timer on this upgrade. Whenever you or one of your allies attacks one of that opponent's creatures, the attacker may convert one of his concentration results, the I results, into a hit result. So a must be unique dragon to equip. That's interesting. So a way to get more hits. Next we've got a campaign artifact, cost of 2. It's called Eyes of the Eagle. Eyes of the Eagles. If there's an action, perform the action even if there are no enemies within range 4. During a range attack, your targets do not receive the defensive combat bonus for being attacked at range 4. Dragon can use a dragon upgrade slot to equip this artifact. Alright, whatever. So as far as the young dragon, compared to the older dragon, the adult dragon, the base of the adult dragon is 27, this one's 21, the named one's 35, this one's 28, so a little bit cheaper, you save 6 and 7 points. Let's see the actual things. It's 2 attack, 2 defense, 3 heart, and then 1 shield. The other one's 2, 3, 3, and 1. So actually the cost 28, the young green dragon, while it has a worse attack, it does have a better defense. It does not have as much life, though. One's level 4, the other one's level 6. The named one is, after Truth reveals a fallback maneuver on his maneuver dial, he may add +1 to his speed. Also, the attack's not quite as good. They have a 1 distance for bite versus 2 for the adult, but they do get the 2 melee. There's also less actions that you can choose for each of them. So, a little bit weaker, but you save some points on the creatures. And then finally, we got its movement. Interesting enough, let's see here, flight. It can still, it has almost the same maneuvers. It's a little bit slower than the adult. It's got a red for 4 going forward. It doesn't have the hard 90-degree turn at 3s. It does have the hard 90-degree turns at 2. Its reverse is at 2 and 3. The reverse for the adults at 3 and 4. It does have a white reverse at 2 when the adult is both red, and then its fallback, its reverse, is 1 white compared to a red for the adult. And as far as on the ground, it looks pretty much the same, except instead of hard rights at 2 that are red, it's white instead. So the ground, the young dragon's a little bit more maneuverable compared to the adult, but it's a little bit slower when it comes to flight. I mean, overall, you're looking at a cheap alternative to get out there. I mean, nothing really jumps out at me as absolutely must-haves or really, really cool things. Coming up on tournament going on, I might throw in, I think, one of these young dragons just to kind of fill up some points and give me some dragon fighting ability out there. Be interesting to see, how creatures like this are used in the game. So overall, it's one of the cheapest dragons to get. The blue young dragon's at 22, and then the young bronze is at 22 as well. Then the blue's named is 29, and the bronze is 30. So this is like the cheapest dragon you're going to get that's out there. Not quite as great when it comes to attack, but a little bit better when it comes to defense compared to most. So a little bit more of the defensive, but you're looking at a little bit cheaper of a dragon juice. Maybe you're going to want to throw him up on abilities and rock him up in upgrades to get him out there as kind of a force to reckon with that they didn't see coming. Overall, I think the figure is better than the actual cards and abilities, but again, a cheap dragon's not necessarily a bad thing. Thanks for watching. As always, this is Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. You can catch us every single day at graphicpolicy.com. Of course, we're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all Graphic Policy. Until next time, thanks for watching. Keep rolling those die and keep it geeky.